Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana is trying to push higher in 5 waves, and it starts to provide good evidence that a low indeed could have been made, or at least a more substantial low could have been made. Once the price reaches $104.70 or higher, I will mark the wave 4 as complete. Tentatively, it will depend on the market's ability or the bull's ability to hold a higher low in the upcoming pullback. Typically, when resistance breaks, then we're watching first for the structure. If a 5-wave move can form, and it seems to me it wants to form a 5-wave move, then we are going to wait for these 5 waves to complete. And then we can add a support area as soon as they are complete and as soon as we see a confirmed top in place, yeah? And then we add a support, obviously, and this support area could again provide a setup, for example, like this one here, yeah? Which obviously, unfortunately, was only touched, but that's what it is, you know? I cannot rule out at this stage that the wave 4 will extend, but then it would be a much larger A, B, C structure, for example. That can always happen, you know? Things can always start to break down, but as you know, over the recent months, the structure here on the Solana chart is overall quite bullish. And as long as we are holding overall the $47 level, this overall scenario and the bigger picture and the main thesis here is still that the price should reach $190 plus in this 5th wave. There is obviously still a little bit of uncertainty if the 4th wave is already complete and we're moving in the 5th wave, or if this is just the A wave, then we're going to move up in a B wave and we come down in C, and the wave 4 will finish here and then we go up. See, that's always a possibility. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, and you want to be prepared for both, really, okay? But the main reason I make this video is to indicate that I could argue that there is now a 5-wave move on the chart. Have to say though that this 3rd wave was a little bit too short to be reliable, but it's okay. Just about, we talk about, I don't know, 20-30 cents here, and the wave 5 should ideally get to $104.70. So, but at the moment, I think even if it comes down now, if it gives us a pullback now, I would add a support area to the chart. It's a bit too early for that. I will probably do that later. Or once we have somewhat confirmed top in place, then I will add a support area to the chart. At the moment, it would still have to be moved because we haven't got those 5 waves up complete. So at least there is absolutely no evidence a top is in. What would be a first indication a top is in? It would be a break below the last swing low. Basically, that's today's low, isn't it? Yeah. So it would be the $95.60 level, so the last swing low. If we break below that level, I would mark this move to the upside complete. I would argue it could be interpreted as a 5-wave move, but again, only a diagonal pattern. Only a diagonal pattern. We have 3 waves in wave 5, 3 waves in wave 3. Wave 1 is completely ambiguous, so that could also be a 3-wave move. But again, the Fibonacci levels suggest it has to be a diagonal. But it's 5 waves. It's just that, you know, you cannot trust a diagonal. What do we do then? Well, we can tentatively assume the low might be in. It's all about watching for the nature of the pullback. If it's corrective and if it's holding a higher low, we're going to add a support area to the chart from here. We can then watch for a 3rd wave rally to the upside going forward. And it would be a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. Once I see this pullback, I will add the micro count on the chart. But ideally, I'd like to see it stretch a little higher before it starts that pullback. If it doesn't do it, then it's not doing it. But what I can tell you is that if it stretches a little higher, we might see it find resistance here, at these previous swing highs, which are a little higher. Okay, and it might get rejected there, but then this is looking a little bit like an inverse head and shoulders pattern, So let's see, it goes a little higher. Then we get this corrective pullback, maybe a wave 2, and then it could break out in a 3rd wave. So that's sort of what I'm watching for, but it needs to hold, obviously, the 78.6 retracement of the rally here, that is the main support level that we should be using. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take out these fibs here. I mean, they can still be relevant, but first of all, we would need to see if support levels are holding or not. So basically, we had a breakout of this trend line that caused us to watch. We had a successful retest from the trend line from above that has bullish implications, broke above the recent high. That now is giving us 5 waves. And as I promised to you, I will start to assume that the low is in once I see the 5-wave move. But it still needs to be confirmed by the, by basically holding a higher low. How do we measure that? Well, we take the length from the low that hit our support area down there, and it would be the area between $83.24 and $92.41. You know what? Maybe I leave it on the chart, but I just say it still probably needs to be moved. Okay. It probably still needs to be moved, so I just leave it there. I just say that because channel members obviously have access to the live chart, but it might need to be moved up a little bit. Yeah, that's basically what Solana is doing, and if a top is in, and if the corrective pullback is holding, then I can give you a target for the next move up. The chances are, I mean, if the wave 4 here on the larger time frame really has bottomed, then it will be interesting to see how the move up is going to be structured. It should ideally be an ABC structure if this really is that ending diagonal I'm watching for. But we've seen that even though it is an ending diagonal, the structure looks very impulsive. So it might have impulsive characteristics, but still look very, still be part of that diagonal, right? So anyway, it just might mean we have shallow pullbacks and so on. But yeah, that's my update about Solana. I don't think there is much more to add. Talked about that next upside target around $104. Maybe we get rejected there. And then once we see a break below the intraday low, the support area will become relevant, the micro support area. And if that's holding, then we can look for another rally to the upside. And then we will probably have something like this, an A, B, C structure, or maybe even a 1, 2, 3. We will see. Okay, but after those 3 waves are done, I'm going to add another support area, and so the plan would be to climb higher towards that target there at around about $190 plus. Okay, that's my update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.